sure you guys can hear me. You know what, it really does mean a lot for us to be standing here. Because honestly, guys, this weekend, how many of you came here because you need money now? The whole room, right? That's not front, right? That's not front. Like, it's like, this great. No, but I got rent to pay. We almost close to February, right? Trust me, I know. I remember counting down the days by the bills. We're standing here, but something magical is happening. I'm almost at a point this weekend, and please forgive me if I'm standoffish. There's like so many emotions in me right now that I don't even know if I touch somebody if I'm not gonna break out into so many tears because we've been praying to help you. And I don't know if people see that. Like, you guys see the checks, you guys see the cars, y'all see the money, y'all don't see the pain behind the fact that we're like, why is it just us in the front of the room? Why, what is it going to take for us to get other people to say, Nick, I finally have been able to quit my job, or Nick, I finally was able to pay off my car, or Tracy, thank you, I was able to pay off those student loans. Like, we really have a desire for you, but what's even greater is that in all the things we did before, we kind of got to a point where we began to believe that as a lie. Like, we began to think that, you know what, this is manipulation. We're just gonna be the ones making the money. This thing don't really work for other people. So it became guilt. And then it became fear of ever doing this again. And so when Tracy came to me about this opportunity, and the last business I was in, yes, making the money feels amazing, but the worst thing is when you're making it and absolutely nobody else is. And in these companies, somebody's not paying their rent because they're paying an auto ship. That's gonna give you money, And we were not the people that was like, oh yeah, go ahead and don't pay your rent and pay your auto ship. I got to the point where I started telling people, please cancel your auto ship and feed your kids. When that happened, I knew that it was time for me to get out of the industry. I knew that my days of being this big time rock star in the industry was dead. And I began to think that everything we tried was in vain. And when Empower came, obviously we hear about the burnout stories and things like that. I don't know what I was shooting for. I don't even know if I had a goal. I don't even know if I believed anymore. And so to have somebody that pushes you, but beyond that, to have a company. Guys, let me tell y'all something about Dave and Dave. And I was just sharing it with Ashley. I went to Dave today because I feel like there's a lot more growth that I need to accomplish personally as a leader, as a person, and things like that. So I just went to Dave and I was like, hey Dave, I just want to get some time to really kind of hear from you. What should I be focusing on, basically? What are some things that you think, personally, he knows me, what are some of the things that you suggest? So he's like, yeah, Nick, we're going to get together. This was during the event. So literally, y'all, I leaned back. And like 5 seconds later, I'm in tears on that white couch, bursting out crying because so many things were going through my head that were revealing to me where the blockage was. And now, look, I believe in Jesus, but I'm looking at, I know he ain't Jesus. And he makes it very clear, but I will say that there's something magical about that guy.
Yes.
And let me give y'all a caveat for all my Christians or my religious people in here who have blockage because he does have a different way about building this business. Listen, don't block the opportunities of people who can transition your life because of who they are. Different people are going to come in your life that don't live your lifestyle, they don't believe what you believe, and they may be totally contrary, but don't block the blessing that they're here for you for. It's an encounter. It's an encounter to change your life. So don't block that because in the beginning, it was kind of a reservation of, oh my God, he says the F-bombs, he says this, he says that, and then I would get a lot of calls from the traditional Christians like, Nicole, I like you, but I don't know about that baby. I don't think I can tell my people because I don't really know what that is. And I would say, well, how much does he make a month? Why are you here? Obviously, he knows something that we don't. But my point in sharing that, guys, is the fact that, there is something very mystical and magical.
Yeah.
What he's saying is manifesting beyond belief. And I want to say that to you because, yes, we're getting the checks and stuff, but guys, really the focus and the image, we had a training on Wednesday with the hypnotist, and see, all this stuff is like the hokey pokey stuff. I was like, man, please. I don't have time for that. Around, right? But I really never believed in those concepts because I thought that they were spooky. But the approach that they took was really understanding your subconscious mind. And if you are a religious person or anything, what happens is you think only religion. You don't think reality, you don't think life, you don't think physical, you don't think these things. So many of us deny the subconscious and the conscious. But let me give you guys the one thing that I took from them on Wednesday. He said, your conscious mind is like a jockey on a horse. Everybody know what a jockey is?
Yeah.
Little 100-pound guy, right? Real short, he's usually a petite guy. And then your subconscious mind is the horse with the power. 2,000 pounds versus 100 pounds. And what happens is, when life is great and things are good, you know, you might feel like you're walking in you know, you think your conscience is great and everything that you are in control of is happening. But then when we start hitting roadblocks in our life, that horse is taking over and he doesn't want to go in the same direction as the jockey. And so what they were teaching us was how to tap into that subconscious limiting belief that you have. Because see, some of you guys are here because you've tried a lot of things and this is your last hope. You're saying, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this, but if this doesn't work, that's it. And you're putting your all into it, but at the same time, you're saying to yourself, this will never happen for me. You don't realize it. Your actions might look like you're doing the right stuff, but you don't think you're good enough. You don't think you're worthy enough. When you see these checks, you don't imagine that your name can ever be on this check. And when we look at what Dave and Dave have created, although you came here today for some money, you're about to get the greatest manifestation of your life, which is you increasing your value, which is going to start with you getting to know who you really are and unveiling what has been holding you back your entire life up until this point. And I know, you guys, you know, when you're in a desperate situation, your ears are closed until you get the magical, I'm about to write you a check right now and be like Oprah and pay off all your bills. Oh man, that's what we're gonna do. That's when they wake up, like, here's somebody, let me catch your check. But really, guys, what's happening this weekend, for those of you that are chasing money, is that you're about to learn how to attract that money in your life.
Amen.
The relationships that we're building, when I look at what me and Tracy have been through, I mean, gosh, y'all, we have been through so much together where she's on one bed in the hotel and I'm on the other, and we talking like, Tracy, I don't know about this. I don't know if this is going to work. You know, she'll be like, but look, she's the positive one. I'm like, I'm the one to cut my losses quick. I don't have time for that. I mean, because, you know, our situations are different. She can weigh things out because she doesn't have kids. I was desperate for money, so I don't have time to sit around and make it work. If this wasn't working, I was like, let me go find the next thing that's about to happen right now. So, but having the vision of a Dave and Dave that has gotten us to a point now where we realize the money can be made, right? I mean, the checks, like, I was standing out, here's Tracy's check, for those of you who haven't seen it. I feel like the girl with the sign. But look at this number. This is literally 14 months. 14 months. I mean, corporate execs don't get here in 25 and 30 years. 14 months of a manifestation. But here's the deal. Let me just tell you guys a little something about how we got here, which is why it's very important for you guys to really alter your thinking tonight and set your intentions about where you want to be. Because Tracy talking about setting intentions, I'm like, that's spooky stuff, whatever. Like, here's
what I tell y'all about Cookie and rich and broke and all that.
Yeah, say your statement. Say your statement.
What I said, San Diego, where I said,
Hokey Pokey and rich.
I got to a point where, you know, everything I knew to try to work wasn't working. And I said, I'd rather be kooky and rich, hokey pokey and rich, than be all dignified and broke.
Write that down. Write that down. Because it's real. It's very real. But here's the story behind the story, right? Okay, so you guys are here. Many of you guys made a lot of sacrifices to get here. Some of you are sitting on couches downstairs. Some of you have gone through a great amount of stuff. But I just want you guys to get a little peek about what the last 5 years have been about. When I look at Tracy, just knowing who she is, knowing the amount of investments that she's made, knowing the fact that she was able to pick up a book and read it every time we were together for a while. We were in Phoenix together, we were in Vegas together. She kept pulling out this same book, The Greatest Secret in the World. Write it down and go get it. And I saw her every every day do these scrolls and have the discipline to do it although we were on vacation. You know, when you take a vacation, you take a break. She did it every single day. Then there were the investments of the 3,000 coaching program. Then there were the flying to California and getting coached. Then it was a series of investments and programs and trainings and all these different things that was invested so that she can become the person that was ready to receive this money. You guys get where I'm coming from? This wasn't magic, okay? This wasn't magic. Now here's the difference. It took, I don't even want to say it was 5 years, it took your lifetime, basically. She's an MBA and went to all these different things, corporate background. You guys have those things locked in these events and in the product. That if you listen to them every single day and you actually implement this stuff, what's going to happen, guys? The reason why they say blog daily, listen to Inner Circle, do these things, is because you're increasing your value, your intellectual property. That's going to make people want to be around you enough because they feel like you have something to offer them. When you start building up your value and you begin to fill your mind with the content that changes you, now you're going to attract the money and you'll be prepared for it. The windfall will come. If you've been broke all your life, no matter how, you might have those moments where you make money, the issue is you. The issue is you. And so when I look at what's happened today, here's a little challenge that I want to give you guys. Some of us got ego, some of us have pride. And the thing about me and Tracy, I am called Tracy about 50 times a day. Like, people are like, hey, Tracy, how are you? And then the other night I was sitting down, sitting down with a couple and they had their kid, and I was talking to her and her kid, and so she was like, tell Tracy hi. She's like, we're going to sit and talk for 10 minutes. I get called Tracy every single day. Okay?
Well, people congratulate me on my new baby all the time.
But the reality is that it's a compliment. I mean, it's like they can't separate the two. But the reality is that this is an opportunity for people to probably create issues. Like people always trying to compare us. I ain't got time for that. If it was not for Tracy to have stuck with Empower, would any of us be in this room today?
No.
When it comes down to being in the company of somebody that can change your life, do not get your ego in the way where it's going to cause you to lose out on opportunities that can alter your life. So what we all need to do in this room is find that partner that is as dedicated, as motivated, as driven, and want it as bad as we want it. And here's the reality. That partner may die out, and you may have to replace them. But you need to find somebody who's devoted to the products. You guys need to, listen, you immersing yourself in this culture is about to change the rest of your life. When you get in a community where people can make 300, 400, 500 grand in a month, you can't go back to talking to people about making 40 grand a year. It's just not, I mean, I don't even have any friends anymore that much besides this family because when I sit down with people who are trying to get jobs for 80 grand a year, when they say, yeah, it's 80, I'm like, 80 a month? So what's happening is evolution is occurring. Transference is happening. What I want y'all to know, my point in saying this is, listen, the passion and the desire of this company is that you can become the best you ever want to be. There was a point in time in your life where you saw an opportunity. You saw yourself. Let's just close your eyes for a second. I want you guys to close your eyes. Remember, I'd rather be hokey pokey and rich than dignified and broke. If you too dignified, this room is not for you, neither is the company. Close your eyes and think about a time in your life where you finally felt like you had arrived. You hit it with your vision, the thing that you felt you were going to pursue. It hadn't happened, but you saw it. You felt like, finally, I know my purpose. This is the direction that I'm going to go. Close your eyes, Keisha. Finally, I see it. And you got excited. You got very excited. You knew exactly what you were going to do. You knew you were going to do it, and you were ready to jump up right then and there and go for it. But now I want you to think about what happened. What did you do that interrupted that process? Was it a financial strain? Was it a severed relationship? Was it a family tragedy? What was it? But now go back to that feeling you had when you felt that way. The desire, the hunger, the thirst for that vision. And I want you to encompass and embody that feeling right now and think about yourself in the midst of the tragedy and allowing that excitement to be the beacon of light that wipes out every issue that's in your life. That money issue, it now minimizes and it shrinks away. The relationship that didn't work out, the divorce that may have happened, think about it shrinking away. And thinking about that feeling you had finally taking over your life, consuming you, that no matter what comes, it repels any distraction from you. Do you guys see it? Do you feel it? Or are you asleep? Do you see it?
Yes.
Now here's what I want you guys to do. As a matter of fact, step up for me. Stand up for me. And I know it's kind of tight in here. Stretch. I know it's been a long day, a long weekend. Now just make sure you can step forward and backward, okay? Make sure you can step forward and backward. Now here's the deal. Everybody take one step back, even if it's a minimal step. All right? Right now where you're stepping is the struggle. It's where you've been, it's your reality right now, right? But that step forward is where you want to be. But in that step forward is that feeling, that excitement, that vision, that compassion, that drive, that hunger that you had when you got that idea, when you came up with that vision. Do you guys see it? And if you don't have a vision, think about the person who is where you want to be and how you feel when you see them living their life. Because some of us feel like we don't have a purpose. Think about how you feel when you look at Tracy and you saw her getting in her Maserati. Yeah. Think about yourself being the one that owned that Maserati and you were in the pink boots. You guys feel me? Are you with me? Okay, so let's close our eyes and take that one step back. And I want you guys to think about those things that might occur in your life that are distractions, that have been holding you back, whether it's financial, relationship, insecurity, fear, feeling like you don't have it and wanting to tell yourself that it's not meant for you. But in front of you, know that when we take a step forward, it's exactly the feeling that you have when you saw Tracy getting in that Maserati, but instead of her face, you take the body and put your face on that body. Let's put your face on that body. You're about to get the keys to a Maserati and a check for $356,535.00. Are y'all with me?
I received that.
So right now, everybody take one step forward into that feeling of you actually being Tracy Walker, but it's your name on the check. How does it feel? I want you guys to think of that feeling, but here's the deal, guys. Here's your homework. Here's your homework that I want you to take back. That feeling that you have when you saw Tracy and knowing that you're going to put your face in that position, what are you going to talk about when you get on stage? What's your story?
Yes.
When people come to shoot videos with you, what are the questions that they're asking you about your journey? And what are you going to tell them about how you overcame that process? What was the struggle creating in character for you? What are the lessons that you learned? Because every aspect of your life, guys, listen, look at your life like a storybook. When you get in the midst of a struggle, know that it's going to be the best chapter of the book.
Good.
Make sense?